What's up YouTube, it's your boy Nash here, welcome back to the channel. Now before we get started with today's video, the road to 200 subs has now come to a close and we are now 232 subs away from hitting 500 subs. And who knows, maybe we might hit 500 subs by the end of the year, only time will tell. But as I said in previous videos, if this channel does get to 500 subs, I will open up this Korean LOB booster box in its entirety on the channel that I got from my partners over at Collector Store. So be sure to check them out. Link and address will be in the description below. By checking them out, not only does it support them, it also supports the channel, and I would greatly appreciate it. On the hopes to potentially pull a Blue Eyes White Dragon, a Dark Magician, a Red Eyes Black Dragon, a piece of Exodia, Monster Reborn, Pot of Greed. The possibilities are out there. However, if this channel gets to 1,000 subs, I will open up this first edition Tomb Chaos box in its entirety on the channel that I also got from my partners over at Collector Store, on the hopes to potentially pull a collector's rare out of this set. But with that being said, as I'm trying to get the eye boogers out of my eyes, with that being said, if you guys want to see these boxes get opened, maybe you guys want more episodes of WWE's Biggest Issue. Maybe you guys want more episodes of Yu-Gi-Oh's Biggest Issue, deck profiles, card discussions, WWE topic videos, or maybe, just maybe, you guys want some premium live event predictions and results. Well, if you guys want all of that and more, my channel is the place to be. So if you guys are new to the channel, and I know that a lot of you guys are, because more than 80% of you guys are watching the content, but you guys are not even subscribed. And to top it all off, we got to get more women to watch the content as well. So if you guys are watching the content, you like the content, and you want more of the content, but you guys have not subscribed as of yet, then make sure you guys do indeed subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell, smash that thumbs up button on this video, and as always, make sure you guys are following me on all my social media. All my ads will be in the description below, as will the info to my fan mail. It will also be in the description as well. And I want you guys to post in the comments below answering the question of the day, which is this. What is your all-time favorite new card from Supreme Darkness? Let me know down in the comments below. And since we are on the topic of Supreme Darkness, today's video we are going to be talking about the last batch of cards that will be in that will be in the set for now. Apparently there are now actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There is about 13 new cards to talk about in this video, including, get this, a brand new Link monster that can basically break machine decks. Yeah. So, with that being said, I am not going to waste any time. I'm just going to get straight into it because there are a lot of cards to talk about. So, let's get down to it. Kicking these off, we have Tempora of Chance EBI. And I know it sounds weird, but it literally is a tempura beer battered shrimp. Literally, that's what it is. It's basically food. It looks weird, I get it, but it's pretty funny. But it is a 3-star Fire Aqua Pendulum. Never would have imagined. With 1600 attack, 0 defense. Its pen scale is 8. The pendulum effect is a once per turn, and it has a bunch of flavor text. So let's take a look at its pendulum effect. So it reads. You can target one card in your pendulum zone, toss a coin, and if the result is heads, special summon that card. If the result is tails, destroy it. And if you do, you lose life points equal to its pen scale times 300. Now its flavor text reads as follows: When to Edo Front, which is the talk of the town, the tempura here excuse me, is not only massive in scale, but its beautiful appearance has also earned the nickname Kinpora. Although the port is filled with the latest state-of-the-art facilities and has a cross-cultural feel to it, the air is filled with a rich aroma that evokes a certain sense of nostalgia, and the occasional crackling and popping sound echoes through the air, lifting one's spirits. Although I had long awaited this tempura, the rough conditions in the surrounding airspace meant it could not enter the port today. Due to my poor luck, I had to hand in a practically blank report. It's really regrettable, as I've been looking forward to this for over a year, but I think at the end of the day, I'll give this 3 stars. Yeah, not much, not a whole lot to say about this card, actually. I mean, this card sucks. I mean, it's not even that good. Yes, special summoning in a card is okay, but this card just absolutely sucks. I mean, you really don't want to risk getting dealt a shit ton of damage. So there's like, there's no point in using the card whatsoever. Maybe Gunkin Sushi could do something with the card, but it's just not that good. Literally, it is not that good. I'm just being real. But next up, we have Jet Shark. I believe it's called Jet Shark. Yes, Jet Shark. Which is a 4-star water fish with 1,000 attack, 0 defense, and all 3 its effects are a hard once per turn. The first effect reads, if a water exceeds monster is on the field, you can special summon this card from your hand. If summoned this way, you cannot special summon Jet Shark for the rest of the turn. Second effect reads, during your main phase, you can send a fish shark monster or 1 exceeds spell or trap from your deck to the grave. Third effect reads, you can banish the card from your grave, add 1 Aqua Jet card from your deck or grave to your hand. So, you basically have yourself essentially a Foolish Burial, which, I mean, it's not bad. It's not bad. It does give you fodder to, to bring it to your field, and then just use those monsters as Xyz material. But also too, you also have yourself a Cyber Dragon in with this card. And the third effect is like not even that good. I mean, nobody uses Aqua Jet anymore, so it's like there's really no point. It's more so like it's the first 2 effects are pretty decent. The third effect is little relevance, to be quite honest. But it's a cool way. It's a cool way to use the card, the card as a bit of a follow up, especially if your Xyz monsters get destroyed, and you activate Monster Reborn to bring one of those monsters back. You can then use this card's effect, special summon it, and then just like go into more of your Xyz plays, depending on what you have in your hands, which is pretty cool. All right, guys. Next up, we have. Let's see. We have 6 strike, legendary lords, sextuple impact. And yes, it does say sex on it, which is kind of funny. Anyway, anyway, it is a normal trap with both of its effects being a once per turn. The first effect reads, if you control 3 or more 6 samurai synchros with different names, one less for every 6 Bushido counters on cards you control, destroy all cards your opponent controls. Second effect reads, if this set card is destroyed or banished by an opponent's activated card or effect, you can special summon one 6 samurai monster or Shien effect monster from your deck or extra deck. So this is basically a cool way to get Shien on the board without any bullshit, which is pretty cool. Although to be fair, if you're in a mirror match, you're gonna have a very tough time because of the fact that with most mirror decks, they usually end up siding in Ghost Reaper, which to be fair, Ghost Reaper is mainly used in mirror matches, which it is often that you do see mirror matches, but it's also pretty rare to see them as well, which is pretty cool. But again, this card can easily help not only bring out Shien, but basically you can also literally just break your opponent's entire board. So if they don't have anything, you could literally use this card during their end phase, break their whole board, and then just literally threaten lethal, which is pretty crazy. Speaking of potentially threatening lethal, this card could potentially do such that. It is known as Mulcharmy Nyalis. And I'm being honest, this is about as crazy as it can get. And do not let the artwork fool you, you guys. Do not let it fool you, because this is another hand trap that I believe might end up changing the meta. But it is a 4-star Earth Beast with 100 attack, 600 defense, and the effect is a once per turn. And let's see here. You can only activate one other Mulcharmy monster effect the turn you activate this effect. And the effect reads as followed. If you control no cards as a quick effect, you can discard this card, apply these effects this turn. Each time your opponent special summons a monster from the grave and or banishment, draw one card. Once during the end phase, if the number of cards in your hand is more than the number of cards your opponent controls, plus 6, you must randomly shuffle cards from your hand into the deck so the number in your hand equals the number your opponent controls plus 6. So, literally, we have another Max C. Literally, we have another Max C. This is what I'm talking about by threatening lethal. This card has the potential to threaten lethal depending on what deck your opponent plays. If they play decks like Kashtira, decks like 6 Samurai, or whatever, this one card has the potential to completely ruin your opponent's plays completely. Just like the original Max C, if your opponent pulls a Max C on you, especially on Master Duel, you literally have you have three options. You can either A allow the Maxi to resolve and continue your plays. B, negate it by using Ash Blossom or Call By, or let it resolve and pass your turn. Literally, those are your three options, especially when it comes to Master Duel. And I have a feeling that this card is going to make the meta a little bit interesting. But speaking of things being interesting, next up we have Liberator Etho. Which is an 8-star Dark Reptile with 4,000 attack, 0 defense. And it says that it cannot be normal summon or set, and that it must be special summon from your hand. From your hand or grave by paying half your life points while your opponent has a monster card on their field or in their grave with an effect that can activate in the hand or monster zone. But activates in response to the activation of a card or effect to do so. You can only special summon this card once per turn this way. And it has two separate effects. This card's special summon cannot be negated. And the second effect reads, this card in the monster zone cannot be used as material for a fusion, synchro, exceed, or link summon. And it's unaffected by monster effects activated on your opponent's field during your turn only. Now, obviously, YG organization actually helped simplify it by adding a note to explain the card. So it reads as follows: this card looks at every monster card in your opponent's grave and that they control on their field, including their spell and trap zones, and typically checks their text for the word when. If one of those monsters can be activated in the hand or on the field when a card would activate itself or its effect, it meets the conditions for this card. And you can special summon it from your hand or graveyard by paying half your life points. Here are some example text strings. When a card or effect is activated, when a monster effect is activated, when your opponent activates a card or effect, when your opponent activates a monster effect, when an opponent's monster effect when an opponent's monster activates its effect, when an opponent's card activates its effect, when you activate a card or effect, when you activate a monster effect, when your monster activates its effect, when your card activates its effect. And it also says that there are also some mandatory if trigger conditions, like those found on Doom Caliber Knight, Go 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 of Golden Form, and Light and Darkness Dragon Lord, and Light and Darkness Dragon. These three also would work for this new card. So basically, anytime there's a when effect that gets triggered, or whenever there's an if effect that gets triggered, this card literally acts as a Cyber Dragon just by paying half your life points. Is it worth it? Technically it could, but the only logical thing is that this card is perfect for like nothing. Literally, all it is just a 4,000 beater on board, which it does nothing. It does nothing. So I'm being real. This card sucks. I'm just being real. The card sucks. Not much else to say about that. But next up, we have Delta of Temptation. And it's a field spell, and it says that you can only activate one card with You can only activate one copy per turn, and the second and third effects are both once per turn. The first effect reads, when this card resolves, you can send one level 5 or higher zombie monster from your deck to the grave. Second effect reads, if a zombie monster is on the field, you can special summon one Delta token, which is a 5-star dark zombie with 0 attack and defense. Third effect reads, if a monster is added from the grave to the hand while this card is in your grave, you can add this card to your hand. This literally is a lot better than Zombie World, because Zombie World, because I believe Zombie World can turn all monsters on the field to zombies. But to be fair, this card is so much better. I mean, come on, token spamming to help bring out your zombie link monsters. Maybe even go into Red Eye Zombie Necro Dragon. I mean, you've got so many different ways that this card can be abused. There ain't a whole lot to say, honestly. But we now have to move on. Basically, the card works with zombies, and it just helps make summoning monsters from the extra deck a lot simpler, which is pretty cool. Next up, we have Clockwork Knight, and I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, wait a minute, Clockwork Knight? Are you talking about the equip card? No, I'm not. This is what I'm talking about. Clockwork Knight. Literally, it is an Earth Machine Link 1 with 500 attack, and the arrow is left, and it's set and requires a non-link machine monster with 1,000 or less original attack. And both of its effects are once per turn. The first effect reads, if this card is link summoned, you can send a faithful continuous spell you control to the grave, add one Clockwork Knight from your deck to your hand. Second effect reads, you can target one machine monster with 1,000 or less attack in your grave, tribute one of the machine monsters, and if you do, special summon the targeted monster in defense position. So, literally, this card works so well. It can work well with Cyber Dragons. Clockwork Knight can basically not only turn your opponent's monsters into machines, but this card basically ensures that bringing out cards like Chimera Tech Fortress Dragon and Chimera Tech Mega Fleet Dragon are all easier. It makes them easier to summon, and guess what? You can even also use Super Poly. This basically helps with Super Poly because because you can literally Super Poly your Cyber Dragon and one or two of your opponent's monsters, bring out Rampage Dragon, and you literally have three pops right then and there, which is absolutely insane. This card is going to help make Cyber Dragons and like all other machine-based decks even more dangerous than ever before. So that's pretty crazy. That is extremely crazy. Next up, we have, if I can get to it, I don't think I'll... Okay. Clearly something is wrong with that one. Let me try something here. Give me 1 second, guys, because apparently, there was another card that I wanted to talk about, but unfortunately it wouldn't let me. So let's go YG org. There we go, finally. Okay. Okay, now, finally, we got that card. Now let's talk about it. It is known as a bow, a coup, the lightless shadow. And I'm probably butchering it because I think it's Chinese. So I do apologize to all my Chinese fans out there if I butchered the name of this card. But it literally looks like something out of it kind of looks like something out of oh, what's that one anime? What, ReZero? No. I think yeah, you know what? Maybe it maybe it does. It looks like something out of ReZero. But it is a Dark Fiend Link 4 with 2800 attack, and its arrows are left, bottom right, right. And it requires 2 or more monsters, including a fiend. And you can and it says that both of its effects are once per turn. The first effect reads, during the main phase, as a quick effect, you can discard 1 card to activate one of these effects. Destroy one card of the field. Banish this card until the end phase, and if you do, special summon a light or dark monster from your grave. Second effect reads, during your standby phase, you can draw cards equal to the number of different types among the monsters in your grave, then place the same number of cards in your hand on the bottom of the deck in any order. So okay. So there's a note here that says about a Q is a creature that lives dormant at the steps of the spiral staircase at the Tower of Victory, seeking to become whole atop the tower's balcony at the end of the stairs. It follows travelers in their pilgrimage, described in the Book of Imaginary Beings, 1957, authored by George Luis Borges and Margarita Guerrero. Okay, all right then. Nice little history lesson, but I think that might be Chinese. So let's talk about this card for a quick second, because this card literally can work well with pretty much any chaos based deck. It can work with Dark World. It can work with, I think, Magical Musketeer, because muskets are light and they're also fiends. This card is actually not that bad. I mean, being able to just randomly pop a card on the board, or literally banish this card and bring out pretty much any light or dark monster from your grave. This is actually not bad. And not only that, this also gives your hands a bit of a reload, if you will, because you can literally see your combo pieces, and then just completely unbreak your hand and combo off like it's nothing. This card is actually pretty crazy. But now we gotta talk about. But now we have 5 more new cards to talk about, so let's get down to it. Next up, we have Great Knight of the Red Lotus. Which is an 8-star fire warrior with 2100 attack, 1800 defense, and it says that it cannot be normal summon or set, that it must be special summon from the hand or grave by shuffling up to 3 non-effect monsters from your grave into the deck or extra deck, and you can only special summon this card once per turn this way. And it does have 2 separate effects. The first one reads that it gains 800 attack for each vanilla monster shuffled into the deck for its special summon. Second effect reads, once per turn you can target 1 monster on the field and 1 non-effect monster in your grave, destroy the first target, and special summon the other, and special summon the second target. I mean, this works with pretty much any deck that uses up a bunch of vanillas, but there aren't a whole lot of them in the format, so it's like not even that good, to be quite honest. But next up we have Goddess of Duality, which basically resembles the card Goddess of Whim, funny enough. So here's Goddess of Whim, there's Duality. So that's actually kind of cool. It is a 3-star life fairy with 950 attack, 700 defense, and both of its effects are once per turn. And the first effect reads, if this card is normal or special summon, you can add 1 monster from your deck to your hand with a coin tossing effect except this card. During your main phase, the second effect reads, during your main phase, you can toss a coin and call it. If you call it right, the attack of all face-up monsters you currently control become doubled until the end of the turn. If you call it wrong, send as many monsters you control as possible to the grave, and if you do, draw 1 card. Basically, you have a card that can literally say I love you or fuck you. Literally, that's what this says. It literally says I love you or it gives you one of these. Literally, that's all it does. Not much else to say about that. But next up we have Light Storm Dragon, and it basically resembles the card Dark Storm Dragon from, I think, Lord of the Tachyon Galaxy. Either that or some other set, because I remember using Dark Storm Dragon in one of my earlier decks. But it is a 9-star Light Dragon Synchro with 2700 attack, 3000 defense, and requires a tuner and 1 or more non-tuners, so pretty generic. And both of its effects are once per turn. The first effect reads, if this card is special summon, you can target spells or traps on the field up to the number of normal monsters in your grave, plus 1, and destroy them. Second effect reads, if this card is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can target 1 spell or trap in your grave, set it, but it cannot be activated unless you control a vanilla monster. So I think Dark Magician could potentially use this card. I know that Blue Eyes could also run it because it does run 3 copies of Blue Eyes White Dragon, and it does have a Dragon Spirit of White, because once the effect is used up, it essentially just becomes a vanilla. So in a way, this card could be pretty useful. It could be very, very, very useful, but still, I mean, it basically acts as sort of like a Harpy's, a really weird like Harpy's Feather Duster, if you will. But moving on. Next up, we have Hierarcho Hoodor, I believe is how it's pronounced. And I know I'm like butchering the name, so I do apologize. But it is a normal spell with both of its effects being once per turn. The first effect being a hard once per turn. Sorry. The first effect reads, target 1 monster in either grave, destroy 1 water monster its owner controls, and if you do, special summon that target to that player's field in defense. Second effect reads, if this card is in your grave except the turn it was sent there, you can banish it, then target a water monster in either grave, destroy a monster its owner controls, and special summon that target to that player's field in defense. I mean, it's okay. It's like not even that. It's like okay, but the effects, in my opinion, the effects could have been better. The effects could have been better, but really not a whole lot to say about it. I mean, it's like really bad, like Monster Reborn, where it could be summoned to either your field or your opponent's. So in a way, this is like basically a spell version of a kaiju, and it's pretty bad. In my opinion, I think it's pretty bad. But now we have one more card to talk about in this video, and it's known as Double Wild, which is a quick play spell, and the effect is a once per turn that reads, target 1 level 5 or lower monster you control. You cannot special summon for the rest of the turn after this effect resolves, except monsters with the same original type as that target. Also, add one level 10 monster with that original type from your deck to your hand. Then you can discard 1 card, and if you do, special summon a monster with that type from your hand in defense. So I would say the Malefics could run this card, except the fact that except with the Malefic monsters, you have to banish cards to some of their dark counterparts, if you will. So it's a bit of a downfall, if you will. But I think pretty much every other deck can run this card. I know Red Eyes could potentially run it. I know that Dark Magician can run it. I know Dark World could run it. Yubel can, even also Yubel could also run the card as well. So that's pretty cool. And there's also the quarter century secret rare reprint of the set. And if you can actually believe it, given the theme of the set, which was the very first archetype that I talked about on the channel, which were evil heroes, Dark Fusion is getting a reprint in the set. So honestly, these cards honestly, a lot of these cards are absolutely insane. Some are a bit iffy and some kind of suck, but honestly, I think this set might just end up being one of the craziest sets we've had that we will potentially have in 2025. Like, this set is going to change the meta the same way that Phantom Nightmare changed the meta. This set is going to change the meta just as quickly. So with that being said, that will do it for today's video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure you guys smash that thumbs up button. If you guys are new to the channel and you guys want more card discussions in the future, then make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell, and as always, make sure you guys are following me on all of my social media. All of my ads will be in the description below, as will the info to my fan mail. It will also be in the description as well. And on that, this is your boy Nash, signing out.